Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another Core Racing League event. Except for this time, it's not for points. It's called the Mid-Season Classic over here at Core. This race is sponsored by none other than Kevin Hollywood Foster. This guy has been a part of Core since I have been a couple of years ago. Is whenever I started my iRacing journey, and they welcomed me in like a family would. But so far tonight, we are at Kansas Motor Speedway for tonight's race in the Xfinity cars. Going to be 100 laps on for tonight. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm actually pretty excited for this show tonight. You're going to see a lot of high side action, a lot of people going through the middle, and a lot of people using that inside rotation for themselves. But without further ado, we're getting ready to go into qualifying here. And tonight's going to be a really good race tonight as we got, it looks like about 10 to 11 guys out there. It is a little bit of a holiday week. So, that stuff does happen. But you can see here in the map, Kansas looks wide enough, but if you're not careful, especially in these Xfinity cars, it could get a little bit spicy as you could travel up into the wall, get a little bit loose, and end up not having what you want to do. But 10 minutes on for qualifying. Going to take a look at Mr. Tim Thompson here. He's getting his laps in. Going to take a ride around with him in that Quicksilver number 05. And believe it might be open qualifying if I'm not mistaken. So we'll go ahead and take a look at his paint scheme here so you guys can see exactly what his car does look like, as that is actually a pretty cool looking paint scheme of that number 05 Quicksilver of Tim Thompson. Aaron Smith in that bright yellow banana machine. Jimmy Covert in the CRN, backing the CRN name with that number 14 Ford Mustang. Sucks to Suck and Joka Graphics. John Crane in another Quicksilver number 11. Nick Nickerson in the VIP Glass Incorporated number 2 Ford Mustang. Kevin Foster, tonight's sponsor, the Big Red Propane in that number 8 Ford Mustang. Carl Handwerk in the CRN number 18. Sucks to Suck with Joka Graphics paint scheme. And we'll look and see if anybody else is out there on track. We do not see anybody else out there on track. So there's your rundown of the cars so far. But you can see here, Carl's going to run that inside line across the start finish line. He's going to go back up to the top, get as close as he can to that wall. Going to dive it down just a little bit and stay on that high side. You're going to get a little bit more of a rotation on that high side than you would on the inside. You can actually stay in the gas a little bit longer as well. So you're definitely going to see a lot of different strategies come into play. As like I said earlier, you could run the high side, you could run the inside. It just depends on where you want to be at to not burn out your tires. But so far, midseason classic, no points on the table, just a smooth little cash prize. As Nick Nickerson tops the charts with a 30.649, and Aaron Smith in P number 2. But look at that, Carl Handwerk gets in the wall just a little bit. That's going to hurt his second lap. And he's just going to bring it on down, stop it, lock it up. Does it hit? Oh, he hits the wall. We're going to take a ride with Mr. Nick Nickerson here and see what line he's running as he's getting ready to dive it into pit road and bring that number 2 to a dead stop. David Caselli, the number 48, Budweiser Oakley Logitech machine. Haven't really seen too much out of this number 48 machine, but when he does race, he makes his name known as he's taking his first lap here. He is currently P number 8, 7/10 of a second off the leader as of right now, coming up off of turn 1 and 2. Able to keep it up there and getting a good run off the corner. Going to see if his second time is a little bit quicker than his first. As I bring up the track map up there for you guys, so you guys can see what I can see as he jumps up to P number 6. Tim Thompson still down there in P number 8, still waiting for Mark Gonzalez to come out here, hit a quick little lap time and see what he can do in that number 88 machine, Taco Bell. It's always good to have a little bit of a mid-season classic over here in the Core Racing League. We, especially on Sunday nights, we do a little bit of something different. So every week you're going to see a different car, a different track. It's not just one car every single week. Like, you got your next gens, you got your Xfinity cars, and you got your uh, Cup cars. You're going to see a lot of different stuff. Like next week, I believe you go to Lockenbennen in the Rallycross cars, so there's something different. Then after that, we go to I'm not sure exactly what the schedule is, but we do run a little bit of everything. So you got to be master disciplined in everything that you run here. As I'm not good at everything out there that these guys run, but I'm always out there practicing, getting better at what I can do. As the 14 and 70 are coming back out of pit road, they're going to lay down some more lap times. We'll go ahead and ride along with the number 8 of Kevin Foster. He's still running that high side. Him and Nick Nickerson were working together just a little bit, trying to get times acquainted as Kevin Foster still rolls P number 4. Go ahead, zoom this out here so that way you can actually get a look and see how wide the track is. And I'm actually going to take a ride along with the number 70 here, as he is not in the car as of right now, but we're actually going to take a ride with the number 18. I'm going to go ahead and put it into the cockpit here. We're going to see how much he's turning that wheel in to keep the car off the wall and see exactly what his line looks like. He's going to dive it down just a little bit, keep it off the wall, see if he can't just surpass the number 2 of Nick Nickerson, who just ran the fastest lap of the race with a 30.618. So far, Mark Gonzalez was not able to put down a lap time so far. Not sure if that's something that he was planning on doing or if he wants to try to get a better lap time. But now we're going to ride along with the number 2 of Nick Nickerson. You've seen how much wheel that the number, excuse me, AT was putting into it. Now we're going to see what Nick Nickerson does. You can see how much throttle he has to back off of it as he's running that low line. He's going to run it again, possibly into 3 and 4. Going to see what he does. Maybe he runs a high side this time, and that's what he does. He runs a high side, and now he's going to keep it up there. See if he just can't get a good run off the corner. Gets a great run off the corner. Going to take it down below the white line, hit that start finish line, and see exactly what he does. Is that one was a 32.162, so he might be trying to do a little bit of tire saving in this 10-minute practice set or 10-minute qualifying session. So definitely going to see a little bit of different strategies playing out here tonight. And while we have all this time, we're going to go ahead and bring in our in-race reporter, the sponsor of tonight's race, Kevin Foster. This is Dylan in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do now.
All right. Well, Kevin, this is your race. This is something that you like doing every season in core. It's called the Mid-Season Classic. Kind of give us a little bit of a rundown on how you come up with the idea with the Mid-Season Classic and what kind of ideas you have for the cars and the tracks.
Well, the midseason classic just started just to kind of break up the season, because week in week out it's all about points and getting the best finish and this and that. So I came up with the midseason classic 4 or 5 seasons ago, just a way to break up the field and put a couple dollars on the line and just let people go out there and just race and try to have some fun.
Oh yeah, and I've been in core for 2 years now, and I think the best mid-season classic that I've done so far was the one at Phoenix in the MX5s. That was really fun, but now
Yes.
I'm up here in the booth watching it all throw down out here on the track, and I mean it's always a great event. Just like you said, it's an easy way to get everybody's mind off the points and just have fun for one night in the court racing
Yeah.
league.
Yeah, it's a special weekend here. It's Labor Day weekend, so wish some more guys came out tonight. But I understand probably spending time with the family and watching the football games and NASCAR race tonight, and we understand that. But yeah, just a way to get out, have some fun. But the cars and tracks, I try to just change something up, make it different every year. That way, it's just break up the monotony and just there's not many asphalt tracks on the schedule this season for core, so decided to do a high bank, quick race here, and with one of my favorite cars here on iRacing, the Xfinity car. So just gonna go out here. We're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna park it in Victory Lane tonight because I know something the rest of the field doesn't know.
Well, that's a secret that you're going to have to keep in your back pocket. But I believe last season we did it at Talladega or Daytona in the older Xfinity cars. I ended up pushing Mr. Eric Andrews to the win for the Midseason
Yes,
Classic, and
sir.
that was actually a really fun race to be a part of. If you haven't seen that, you want to go and check it out over on Brendan Glover's broadcast. 'Cause that race, you had 2, 3, 4 wide all the way around the track, but now we're at Kansas, and you got 10 seconds left in qualifying. Give me a little bit of a rundown on how tires are affected here, and what kind of laps are you getting on a full tank of fuel?
We're about 23 on a full stint with the fuel tires. You really want tires after about 6, 7 laps. But the good thing is though, everyone's gonna run the top. I'm gonna run the bottom. So that way, no one's going to be in my way. And then I think the top is faster for the first 4 or 5 laps, but it's also risk versus reward. Yes, it is a little bit faster up top, but you're going to be up there and you make a mistake, you hit the wall, and then you're out of contention. So I'm just going to stay around the bottom and be there at the end for sure. And we got a competition caution tonight at lap 40. Going to pick a couple guys to start in the back. Hopefully it's not me, but if it is, it is, and we got plenty of time to drive up through there.
That's good to hear. And that's something different that we don't really get to see is a little bit of an inversion throughout this whole race. But you get ready to grid up. We're going to go ahead and throw you back up into general with everybody else, and we'll give you a good look from up here in the booth.
All right, sounds good. Just thank you guys for broadcasting, and I'll talk to you guys during the race sometime.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. That was the in race reporter of the number 8 machine of um, Kevin Foster. He's really looking forward to this race tonight. We're gonna go ahead and bring up the. Oh, excuse me. Give me 1 second. Bring up the good qualifying results here, as we have. Show it. All right, there we go. We got Nick Nickerson in P number 1, Aaron Smith in second, Carl Handwerk in third, Kevin Foster in fourth, David Castelli in fifth, John Crane in sixth, Jimmy Covert in seventh, Tim Thompson in eighth, and rounding out your 9-car field for tonight is a number 88 of Mark Gonzalez, who posted no time for tonight. So we're definitely going to see what the number 88 of Mark Gonzalez can do. But so far, it looks like they are all almost gridded in, and we will start sending these guys out for their formation lap. Gonna go ahead and change the camera to the nice little inside of the camera here. We got Nick Nickerson in that number 2. What is it? The VIP Glass Ink. We have Aaron Smith in that bright yellow banana number 70. Carl Henwick in that number 18 CRN Joker Graphics paint scheme. Kevin Foster starting P number 4 in that big red propane number 8. David Castelli in the number 48 Budweiser machine. The 11 of John Crane in the Quicksilver Bang Energy machine. The 05 of Tim Thompson in the Quicksilver. Jimmy Covert in the number 14. Looks like he elected to start from pit road. And that will do it for this field. So it looks like Mark Gonzalez was not able to end up getting into the race here tonight, as we're looking at Aaron Smith here. We're going to go ahead and go to the starter cam, because I believe Barney has the green flag in his hand. 8 cars out here tonight, as Mark Gonzalez was not able to make the race, and they are green, green, green. We are going into racing, as they are not going just yet, as they're letting Mr. Jimmy Covert come back out with them out on track, and they're going to see exactly what may possibly happen, as it looks like they're going to take one lap to get everybody back in shape. And then after that, they will end up counting down to the green flag, and then they will go from there. But like you heard Kevin Foster say in his interview, there's a competition caution at lap number 40 where a couple of guys do get the inversion. Something that's going to be fun here tonight, as you got Carl Handwerk giving the 14 a little bit of love, running that CRN paint scheme. Gotta love it. As the CRN is up here taking broadcast requests. If you have anything and we are available, CRN will get you covered. As Carl and Jimmy and myself are all looking to broadcast any type of league that you want us to throw. But they're coming back around. Nick Nickerson is the lead car, Aaron Smith on the outside, and we are green, green, green. As Nick Nickerson's going to bring him around. And now they're finally going. Nick Nickerson, he's going to bring him around. Not going to get a good jump on the number 70. He's going to be on his outside. And Kevin Foster goes straight to the inside where he said he was going to run. And that's going to open up the door for Carl Handwerk to possibly get a good run. But here comes David Caselli. He's going to get a little bit loose and hit the wall. That's going to open up the door for the number 11 of John Crane. John Crane, he's going to try to make the move on the number 48, not going to be able to make it happen, as the 48's a little bit loose, going down, coming back up, hits the grass, keeps it straight. Still no caution. Everybody keeps it straight. Going to jump back up here to Carl Handwerk. He's on the outside of the number 8 machine of Kevin Foster. He's going to see if that high side does prevail, as Kevin Foster's going to try to shut that door. Almost gets into the back end of the number 8. Kevin holding his line down there. It's drifted up just in front of Carl Handwerk to slow that momentum. But look at Carl Handwerk. He is running that outside lane. Oh, he got into the wall, and he's going to go through the grass. He's going to keep it straight as we go back up here to Kevin Hollywood Foster. And now we're going to see what Kevin does. He sees that Aaron Smith is running the inside where he wants to be. And he said everybody was going to run the top and he was going to run the bottom. But looking back here, we have a good battle between Jimmy Covert and the number 18 of Carl Hanover, Jimmy Covert. They're both running the outside, 114, 118. Both in the CRN paint schemes. Carl Handwerk, he's going to dive into the inside of Jimmy Covert to give that position to Carl Handwerk, as Carl Handwerk will have the good run going into one. Jimmy or John Crane is a little bit loose in front of these guys. Jimmy Covert lets Carl Handwerk have it. Doesn't want to battle too early in this race, as these guys are battling it out here. And right in front of the number 18 is the 05 of Tim Thompson. He's running P number 4. Aaron Smith still trying to track down your race leader of Nick Nickerson in that number 2 machine. And these guys are putting on one hell of a show, as some guys did choose to run the top, other guys did choose to run the outside or the bottom. But right now we are looking at who is running where. And right now it looks like the high side is the way to go, even though you may or may not be able to run where you need to be. Excuse me, as I had a little bit of a brain fart there, but it looks like Jimmy Covert and John Crane are going to do a little bit of a battle here. Jimmy Covert's going to try to keep his car as clean as he possibly can, but jumping up here, Kevin Foster is now on the outside, and Aaron Smith is still running that inside. Definitely want to be careful on that outside, especially as the tires get a little bit worn down. You're going to start to see the car push a little bit, and that's one thing that these Xfinity cars do. Whenever the tires get worn, the car tends to push a lot up the track. You're going to see a lot of guys backing out of the throttle a little bit more than what they want to, as it looks like Aaron Smith, he's going to move to the high side of the track. Nope, he goes right back down to the bottom. And Kevin Foster, he's going to see if he can get a good run going through the corner. So far, cannot do it, but still keeping the number 70 of Aaron Smith honest all the way around this racetrack. So far, the next biggest battle is between John Crane and the number 11 of John Crane, but David Castelli is actually back there riding around with him. I think he might be in tire conserving mode after he bit it in the wall just a couple on lap 1 or 2. That's something that you don't really want to have happen is you hit the wall just a little bit, wrinkle up that front right or even front left, depending on which wall you hit, as that could make your car a little bit tight as well. That's just something that you don't really want to have happen to you, and it's happened to a couple people. So definitely going to see who doesn't hit the wall and who does. Is Jimmy Covert's up into the wall? David Caselli's going to make it 3 wide coming off of turn number 4. Thought better of it. Now he's going to go to the inside of the number 11. That's going to open up the door for the 14. The 14 is going to take it to the inside of the 11, but backs out just a little bit, but put these three under a hornet's nest. These three back here are doing a little bit of a quick work, giving the broadcast a little bit of an energy back here. As it looks like David Casilli was thinking about making it 3 wide, thought better of it coming off of the corner, and takes it underneath both of the 14 and the number 11 and move Castelli from 8th up to 6th as he jumped up 2 spots. Looking back up here at the race leader, Nick Nickerson, you can see where he's running. He's running that middle lane. I think that's where he prefers to be, as our second place runner, Aaron Smith, he's running that low line, but Kevin Foster, he's running kind of almost one lane completely up from where our first and second place runner are running currently. But Carl Handwork has pretty much caught the number 05 of Tim Thompson. He's going to start putting a little bit of pressure on that number 05 of Tim Thompson. It looks like Tim's got a little bit of damage on that right front, and he does. Not sure if he ended up getting hit from behind or if he was just got up into the wall. So, but it looks like the damage is on that rear bumper as he comes around. We're going to take a look at that right side, and yeah, it looks like he just got tapped from behind. No big deal there, but now John Crane and Jimmy Covert, they're kind of just following each other here. Jimmy Covert doesn't want to do something that could possibly potentially ruin both of their races tonight. And on lap number 40, we will have a competition caution as the number 11 goes low. So it looks like the number 11 might be going in for an early pit stall here, as he's going to get around the number 11. And John Crane is not going to go into pit road, but he's going to give that position up to the number 14 of Jimmy Covert. Rounding back up here towards the front, Carl Handwork has caught Tim Thompson. Tim Thompson running a lane lower than Carl Handwork. Carl Handwork's trying to get that run on the outside. Not able to make it happen just yet, but Tim Thompson feels the pressure. Carl Handwork does very well with pressure. He loves it. He wants to force you into a mistake. He's kind of like me when I race. I want to just follow you. I know I can pass you. I'd rather follow you and have you mirror drive and force yourself into a mistake, as Carl Handwerk gets it done on the outside, almost hitting that wall, running that Larson line, as number 18 of Carl Handwerk gets around the number 05 of Tim Thompson nice and cleanly. And now Carl Handwerk can start battling his way back up to the front and battling with the number 8 and 70 of Aaron Smith and Kevin Foster. So far, it looks like the number 48's a little bit off track here. We're going to go ahead and take a look here. We're going to go ahead and rewind this. Wonder if he ended up hitting the wall or if he just got a little bit too loose. Oh, yeah, he rode that wall. As you can see here, he's just going to tap it, give it a little bit of a love tap, and ended up going through the grass. And there was a crash out here as we got a yellow flag. We're going to go ahead and take a look back here as John Crane and Jimmy Covert. Oh, David Castelli crashed, and that ended up bringing out the big one. So we're going to go ahead and jump over to David Castelli. We're going to see exactly what happened to him, what what led up to this event, because you see here he goes through the grass, able to keep it together. But right here, just gets a little bit loose, and if I was David, I'd be trying to lock up the brakes, and he comes up right in front of John Crane and Jimmy Covert. That's going to bring out their first yellow flag, and it looks like everybody is going down pit road for some fresh rubber and some more fuel. But that was just a hard lick for the number 14. You hate to see it. Jimmy Covert running in the back, just wanted to take his time, and now he was forced to tow along with the number 48. And that is going to do it for his race. Luckily, they do have a fast repair, so they can throw the fast repair on, get a fresh looking car, but that's just something that you don't really want to use this early in the race, as we are still under caution. And it looks like Tim Thompson elected to not use his fast repair. And you hate to see it. As we're looking here, our first caution, 19 laps out of 100. Hey, it happens. We're only human. It's just a tough night for the number 14 and the number 11 running smooth as silk. And to have the 48 come up out of the grass, try to get it woed down enough to not jump up back on course, and was not able to do so. Ended up smacking the number 14 and the 11, and that brought the end of the race to the number 14 and the number 48, as they are now 3 laps down. They got to get their fast repairs taken and see what they can uh, see exactly what they can do. See how many laps they can get back here, as it looks like Kevin Foster was able to grab the lead. So Kevin Foster back out there, P number 1. As these guys are, Nick Nickerson, P number 2, Kevin Foster first, Tim Thompson in third, Carl Handwerk in fourth, Aaron Smith in fifth, John Crane in sixth, Jimmy Covert in seventh, David Castelli in P number 8. So we're definitely going to see exactly what these guys can do, what these guys can bring to the table, as we're getting ready to go to 1 to green, as the pace car is going to lead him back around to the start finish line. Nick Nickerson, he's just going to try to save as much fuel as he possibly can. Same with the number 8 machine, but at the lap 40, they do get a competition yellow. Oh, sorry about that. I had a little bit of a yawn. Jimmy Covert and the number 11 of John Crane are both out on track. David Castelli still sitting in pit road, as he's probably going over the replay to see exactly how much damage he did cause to the number 14 and the number 11. But so far, it looks like Kevin Foster elected to take the inside of the racetrack over Nick Nickerson. So we're going to see what kind of run the number 8 can get on that number 2. As we look here, going to go through turn 3 and 4. We'll look at the exit. And now we're going to jump up to our starter cam. Barney's got the green flag in hand, as they're getting ready to go back green here. Can't go until they hit the Geico restart zone, and Kevin Foster is off. We are green, 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 back to racing. Kevin Foster, he's going to have the lead going at a turn number 1, as he's still going to run that inside and give the Nick Nickerson the outside. And look at that run Nick Nickerson gets on that outside, able to trap him back down, get around him nice and cleanly. Now, what does Kevin do? Kevin goes up and gets right behind the number two, get his little bit of a draft to pull him down the backstretch and get into turn 3 and 4 nice and cleanly. As it looks like Carl Hannework's got a fresh looking 18 out there. As he's trying to make his way around Tim Thompson and then number 05. And Carl Hannework's still running that outside. I don't know about you, but if I hit that wall a couple times, I'd be nervous as the 05 gets a little bit loose coming out of turn number two. Able to keep it straight, and we're going to keep it green. And Carl Hannework gets into the wall just a little bit there. Comes back down in front of the number 70 and the number 14. So what does the 14 do? Does he help the CRN teammate? Or does he go with the number 70? It looks like the 14 is going to stick with Carl and possibly make it three wide here going into turn number 1 and 2. Aaron Smith taking that high road. Carl getting a little bit tight. They both hit each other. And that's going to bring out the secondary caution. Carl just got a little bit tight. We're going to go ahead and jump back to a replay of that as we caught that in live time. Going to pause it really quick. Go to a different camera here. And we're going to go ahead and rewind it just a little bit. It looks like Carl Hanneberg just got a little bit tight underneath the number 70. Thought maybe he was clear or the 70 was up just a little bit. You can see the car just drift. And that was all she wrote for the number 70 machine as Carl Hanwork ended up getting into the number 70. Then John Crane, we're going to go ahead and rewind this back. And we're going to watch it from John Crane's perspective. So I'm pretty sure John Crane was kind of like, uh-oh, and away we go. You can see how close they all are. John Crane sees that they're going to get together. He goes down low to miss it, but at that point, it was already too late as he got into the back of Carl Hanwork. And that's going to send him back into the pits. So Carl Hanwork got the car fixed. Still got a little bit of a scrapage on that inside of the car, but nothing too serious. A little bit of duct tape and Bondo cannot fix. Taking a little bit of a drink, getting my throat a little bit hydrated there as we are under our second caution of the day involving the number 70 and the number 18 with the number 11 as he was just an innocent bystander there. While we have this time, we're going to go ahead and grab our in-race reporter of Kevin Hollywood Foster. Kevin, this is Dylan in the booth. You got a copy?
10-4.
All right. Well, we've seen you so far. You ran a little bit on the high side, but your car has been pretty much glued to that inside. Did you think maybe Aaron Smith was going to use that high side more? Or were you just like, well, I guess I'll just follow him on the inside?
I wish he was up top. That way I wouldn't get so arrow tight behind him. But nope, just glued to the bottom. Trying to save some time. We only got 2 sets tonight. A lot of guys don't know this, but we only have 2 sets of tires tonight. And that's a big caveat in there. So I'm not putting on tires. I didn't put on tires. Nick obviously put on tires as he, pulled out to a second and a half there in 2 laps. But just saving some tires and hopefully be there at the end.
Yeah, that's all that matters. I see right off the restart, you got a good jump on him. But halfway through the corner, Nick Nickerson, using those fresh tires to his advantage, was able to get back around you, and you were just content. You just let him go on by, ducked up behind him, got a little bit of a draft going into the corner, and you said, sayonara, dude, you can have the lead and go ahead and burn up all your stuff.
Let him burn up. He's down. He's gonna be down a set, so it's one person out of the way towards the end because we can only go. We're gonna have to make 3 stops in that last segment there after the 40 lap caution. So he's definitely gonna be down a set, and so hope it's gonna pay off. And hell, after the stage break here, I might even stay out and run about 7-8 laps and then come in the pit road in the green because technically you got to make 3 stops. So run 7-8 laps and then fresh tires for the last 2 stints, and hopefully the time over distance is better than everyone else.
Well, that's all that matters. That's all you gotta have is we're getting ready to go green. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop you back up there with the guys, and hopefully we'll be talking to the end of this thing.
All right, I'll see you lap. Put me in about 70, 75 or so. We'll get an in race report.
All right, sounds good. I can do that.
10-4, brother.
All right, have fun, bud. All right, that was our in race reporter of the number 8 of Kevin Foster. You heard it here. You only 2 sets of tires, and Nick Nickerson has burned 1 set super early. So now what does Nick Nickerson do? Does he want to hurry up, get out to that quick early lead? But at lap 40, you got that competition caution. So I'm thinking that might change everything as we're getting ready to go back green here as the pace lights are off on that pace car. And these guys, it looks like Aaron Smith did not use a fast repair. He's going to keep his fast repair in his back pocket for whenever he does need it. Nick Nickerson running P number 3. It looks like Jimmy Covert running P number 5. But Tim Thompson, P number 2. Tim Thompson, your second place guy. He knows how to be sneaky. We're going to go back up here to Barney as it looks like they are green, green, green. Kevin Foster takes the green flag again. We're green back at Kansas. He's going to clear the outside. He's going to take it up high, drop it down low. And Tim Thompson, he's going to go from second back to fourth. But as it looks right now, looks like Nick Nickerson is wasting no time. He's going to drop to the inside of Kevin Foster. Two Fords doing battle. They race with each other on Thursday nights in the Core Vintage Series. They race tonight. And on Wednesday nights, they race in the Bandit Racing League in these Xfinity cars. So these guys do a little bit of a battle throughout the whole week in Core and over in Bandit. So you're definitely going to see a little bit of the Bandit style come out here as it looks like the number 2 of Nick Nickerson is in that Bandit playoff car. So definitely going to see what these guys can do. But looking back here, Aaron Smith got some pressure from the 18 and the 05. The 05 is going to get around him. The 18 is going to pass him as well. So I'm wondering if that number 70 of Aaron Smith is a little bit under power as he's going to dive back down underneath Carl Handwerk. And he's not going to be able to make the pass, but he's still trying to keep Carl as honest as he possibly can going down the backstretch. And Carl Handwerk, he's just going to pull away. So Carl Handwerk able to pull away. He's still running that high side. Tim Thompson, he's running that middle line. And you can tell that Nick Nickerson did take tires. In fact, as he's out to a 0.5 of a second lead over Kevin Foster. So Tim Thompson still holding strong in P number 3. He's going to try to make his way back up over the number 8 machine here. Jimmy Covert running back there in P number 6. Just taking his time running some laps here. As here comes Carl Handwerk. He's creeping in the picture. Carl Handwerk sees his prey, wants to snap on it, and there he goes on the outside. He's going to make a stick. Almost gets his right rear into that wall. Just gave it a little bit of a kiss. As it looks like Aaron Smith has dropped down to P number 6. And Jimmy Covert is in the top 5. But so far, nope, actually no. Jimmy Covert is still one lap down, so move the number 70 still in P number 5, but he's keeping that fast repair for when he really needs it. As Carl Handwerk is P number 3, and now he's going to start making his way on that number 8 machine of Kevin Foster. You see where Kevin Foster's running. Kevin Foster's running that inside. Carl Handwerk isn't scared about that wall. He's wanting to show that wall who's boss. He keeps running it. Gets super close in the back. Okay. He gets back into the wall there. We're going to go ahead and jump up to the number 8 machine of Kevin Foster. But right back here, Jimmy Covert battling with the number 18 of CRN of Carl Handwerk. Jimmy Covert is one lap down, but he is trying his hardest to get that one lap back. Or if another caution comes out, he is going to be our lucky dog candidate. But that is a sight to see. You got two CRN cars out there on track running side by side, one in a Chevy and one in a Ford. I don't know about you guys, but I'm picking a Chevy to beat that Ford because I am a Chevy guy. But with these guys being good friends and teammates with me in the Core Racing League, and they brought me on for CRN for broadcasting, I got to show a little bit of respect to these guys as they're still too wide. And he's looks like Jimmy's not going down without a fight. He knows what he's got to do, but he doesn't want to get any incident points if a caution were to come out. He's got 4 more laps, so we got a mandatory yellow. And it looks like Carl Handwerk, he's not going to let him down without a fight either. So Kevin Foster, P number 2. Nick Nickerson has pulled out to a 1.2 second gap. Almost gets into the wall, was the number 18. But Jimmy Covert, he will get the lucky dog at the end of this caution. It looks like Carl Handwerk, he's going to try to make his way all around the outside. He's got the run. He's got the move. Move Carl Handwerk up to P number 2. Now here's something that we have always seen in the Premier Series: Carl Handwerk and Nick Nickerson doing battle. Nick Nickerson, always a fan favorite. Carl Handwerk's always a fan favorite as well. Same with Kevin Foster. But it's normally Nick Nickerson that fares better out of everybody. Not sure what he's got under that machine, if he's got a NOS bottle, if he's squeezing the handle on it or not, but he always tends to have good speed at everywhere he runs. But Jimmy Covert, he's going to get around the number 8 machine here. Not for position, but to try to catch that number 2 machine of Nick Nickerson to get that 1 lap back. 2 more laps until we throw the competition caution on lap number 40. And so far, we've seen a couple of crashes, nothing too big. But like I said, you hate to see it. And hopefully, we can see good 3 wide battling towards the end of this race. Oh, excuse me. As I am looking here, looks like 2 more laps, and Aaron Smith has actually dropped down just a little bit. So wonder if the number 70 of Aaron Smith is under power, just not wanting to use that fast repair, or if he's really wanting to save that, uh, save those tires. Because I'm not sure when he pit or if he even took a set of tires or not. But so far out there in chat, we got Lyle Mitchell out there saying hello and say hi to everybody. Barry Kistler out there saying, let's go, Carl. And Barry Kistler said, can Kevin get this win? Well, Barry, I will say, I don't know if you were here for his in-race reporter business stuff, but Kevin Foster said he was going to park it at Victory Lane. So we're going to see if the number 8 machine can do that as we got our competition caution at lap number 40. And this could possibly change everything because we're going to see who took tires. I know the 2 took tires in the first 40 laps. Kevin did not. So he's got another set of tires. You only get 2 sets tonight. And Kevin Foster is going to play that strategy. He's going to try to triple stint tires no matter what he can do. He wants to take his time using up those tires. And I guess now we're going to wait to see Jimmy get the wave around on the pace car. He is officially the lucky dog, so he's going to get his lap back. So put the top 6 back on the lead lap. John Crane, David Castelli, and Mark Gonzalez are no longer in the race. They took it behind the wall. Mark Gonzalez did not show. So Mark Gonzalez ends up living up to his name as Mark No Show Gonzalez. And look at Jimmy Covert. He's giving his teammate a little bit of love there. Like, hey, thanks for the good battle there, buddy. As Jimmy Covert, he's got to stay out since he is a lap down. He's not able to pit while the leaders pit. But we're going to jump over to Aaron Smith here. We'll see if he fixes this damage, if he takes tires or not. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go to a pit camera. Go to the pit lane here. See who takes tires. Looks like Foster is taking tires. Aaron Smith has used his fast repair, and it looks like Kevin Foster used all four. Aaron Smith taking a set of tires. Carl Handwerk still in pit roads. Not sure if he's got a little bit of damage in that number 18 machine. And now our favorite people are back here. Gotta go ahead and get rid of the spammers out there in the YouTube chat. But make sure you guys, if you aren't, like, share, subscribe. It helps us out tremendously. We are trying to get as much stuff covered on the CRN. So if you guys know of anybody that needs something covered, let myself, Jimmy Covert, or Carl Handwerk know, and we can talk to you about getting your league or event covered by CRN. We are a fast growing broadcasting network that started in February. Just a couple of guys that just wanted to have fun, and that's what us three do. We're never in the booth all at the same time unless one, Jimmy Covert and Carl are racing and I'm in the booth broadcasting, or those two are in the booth and I'm racing and I get an interview. So that's the only time that you'll ever hear all three of us in the booth at the same time. But being in the booth with these guys is always amazing. But with the Premier Series, these guys have elected to race. Carl was thinking about retiring this last season, but didn't get lucky number 5, so he's back out there on track this year. As it looks like Kevin Foster did not beat out the number 2 of Kevin Foster out of pit road, but it looked like Nick Nickerson took tires, so Nick Nickerson might be out of tires before the end of this race. So far, it has been Nick Nickerson dominating this race. No points involved tonight. Just like Kevin Foster said, high banked. Going to see a bunch of different lines here. We're going to see what the invert is, and it looks like second to third, or second to fourth is the invert here. So that is interesting. We're going to go ahead and bring in Carl Handwerk since, we'll go ahead. We'll bring in the number 8 of Kevin Foster here. Going to go ahead and bring in our in-race reporter, Kevin Foster. Well, Kevin, we just talked to you about, 15 laps ago. You wanted brought in back in on lap 75, but kind of give us a rundown on the invert. What was the number on the invert?
3 and 4. So Aaron and Carl, they're going to the back, which is really good for me. That means I come in, top off of fuel, and I think I'm only going to pit one more time.
And like you said earlier, you didn't take any tires before that 40-lap run. All you took was just fuel. So you still have an extra set of tires in your back pocket for whenever you need it. But it looked like Nick Nickerson possibly took his last set. So he's really going to be babying this car all the way around the track for the last 50 laps.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. But I just don't know what the 70 and 18 are doing as far as tire strategy. So that's only two. That's the two I'm worried about.
Oh yeah, you already know, but we're already back green. I'm gonna go ahead and send you back up there, and hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end of this thing.
10-4.
All right, that was the number 8 of Kevin Foster. So you heard him there. That was the invert, 3 and 4. Nick Nickerson jumping out to a big lead. Jimmy Covert got his lap back in P number 3, but look at Kevin Foster and Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith passing Jimmy Covert. And look at Carl Handwerk on the outside, making it right as he's battling now with the number 70 machine. He's going to take it on the outside. They were 3 wide there for a quick second. 2 CRN cars with a bruised banana as Aaron Smith got passed by the number 18. And look at the speed the 18 is showing. The 18 is on the outside of the number 8 this time, and here he goes. He knows what he wants to do. He knows where he wants to be. Now, can he make it work? He might make it 3 wide coming up off the corner. This is going to get tight. 3 wide going down the backstretch to 5, and the 18 all get collected, able to keep it straight, but that's going to bring out the caution as it got super tight going down that backstretch. We're going to go ahead and
jump back here, rewind it just a little bit, and jump to the chase camera here. Show you guys exactly how tight it does get. Slow it down just a little bit as Tim Thompson in the middle, Kevin Foster on the inside, and Carl Hanwork on the outside. A little bit of net code, and that just sends Carl Hanwork up into the outside wall. Kevin Foster gets tagged, not what you want to see. And Carl Handwerk tags the number 8 machine right after, loses the front clip as the two were able to keep it straight, but Tim Thompson went for a little bit of a slide, and it looks like Kevin Foster may have hit the inside wall, possibly. Nope, he was able to keep it straight. Hopefully, the number 8 machine does have a fast repair and is able to put it back up there, as it has not been a good night for that number 18 machine, as he's got no front clip. He's going to have a little bit of a damage repairs here. We're going to see if he's got an extra fast repair in his back pocket or if he used it a little bit earlier in this race. And that's what we were talking about. You don't want to use a fast repair super early, and that could be the reason right there. You know, use it too early, not going to be able to get enough time to get back out there on track. And it looks like Carl Handelberg is not able to use a fast repair there. And he's going to sit there and take all the damage required as we're jumping out here. Aaron Smith with a fresh, new looking car. Nick Nickerson is your race leader, though. And then number 2, VIP Glass Advanced Auto Parts Ford Mustang. And right now, he's trying to play peekaboo with the pace car. He's going to get up real close to him, get to his outside like Cole Trickle, and then back off just a little bit more. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but look at all those winter stickers on the side of that number 2 car. Let's go ahead and take a little bit of a closer look here. Let's see how many we can count. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 winter stickers for Nick Nickerson on the side of that number 2 machine. But with that being said, look, we got Kevin Foster starting P number 2, the 18 of Carl Handelberg. He's back out on track. Got as much damage as he could fixed on that number 18 machine. And now we're going to see exactly how much he can do with that little bit of damage that he has on that front end. But you see there, the 8 of Kevin Foster, he's saving a little bit more fuel running below the apron there, doing a little bit of a tire dip maneuver as he's getting those tires cooled down on that number 8 machine. As it looks like Nick Nickerson elected to take the outside. So that's something that is worth noting. You know, you've seen Nick Nickerson or Kevin Foster took the inside of every single restart, but Nick Nickerson is winning that outside. So that's a different maneuver that we don't really see as much. As we're going to go ahead and jump up to the starter cam here. Barney's got the green flag in his hand, ready to wave it one more time as he's stayed awake this whole time. And Nick Nickerson is already on the loud pedal, and they are back green. 50 laps out of 100, and you can just see the damage on that number 18 of Carl Handelberg. But look at Nick Nickerson, got out to a good jump. And the number 8, he's going to follow the number 2 machine of Nick Nickerson. But look at that big run by the number 70. He's going to take it to the inside of the number 8. He's going to be clear going into turn number 3. And he might slide up in front of the number 8. He's going to take the line away that Kevin Foster loves running. And that's going to move the number 70 into P number 2. But back here in the back, Carl Handelberg is under heavy power. Heavy power from the number 14. And it looks like the 05 of Tim Thompson. Carl Handelberg doing whatever he possibly can to keep the handle on that race car right now. But now it looks like Jimmy Covert is under power, or under. Oh, Jimmy Covert actually is not under pressure from the number 05, as the 05 has dropped back just a little bit, giving Covert a little bit of room, doesn't want to run him over or get into the back of that number 14. He wants to keep that Ford Mustang a little bit cleaner than what most of these guys drive in real life. You know what they say about Mustangs, Jimmy? They do like to find the field of people a lot, as half this field are uh, Mustangs. Kevin Foster in a Mustang, Nick Nickerson in a Mustang, Jimmy Covert in a Mustang, and then you have a couple of Chevys. So far, it looks like Nick Nickerson. Oh, Aaron Smith has still gotten around the number 8 of Kevin Foster. He's still driving in that little bit of a tailwind of that number 70 machine, as Nick Nickerson was able to pull out to almost a second gap over the number 70 machine. So definitely going to see what the number 2 tires look like at the end of this run and see if he doesn't have another set on hand. But Jimmy Covert has caught Carl Handwerk, and these three are in a little bit of a battle of their own. Carl Handwerk able to stay out front of the number 14 in the 05. Definitely going to see what these guys can do. Not sure exactly. As you've seen there, Carl Handwerk still running the outside, Jimmy Covert running the inside. And we're going to see what line is faster. We've seen what the outside can do. The outside is always going to have that run as Carl Handwerk gets into the wall a little bit. Able to maintain his position though, as Jimmy Covert was not close enough to capitalize on that move by the number 18. But look how much time Jimmy Covert has made up with him running the inside and Carl Handwerk running the outside. So maybe Jimmy Covert does know something a little bit that Carl Handwerk doesn't. And this is the battle for P number 4, as the top 3 are in their own little zip code here. So you got 2 fields of green here. You got 2 groups of 3, and then you got another 2 groups of 3. Because it looks like Tim Thompson was looking to the inside of Jimmy Covert, thought better of it, and didn't make the pass. But it looks like nothing has changed so far. Tim Thompson running the same line as Jimmy Covert. Carl Handwerk still running the outside. And with 40 laps to go, the race is going to get a little bit more interesting. So far, Aaron Smith has caught Nick Nickerson. Look at the line that Nick Nickerson is running, and look at the line that Aaron Smith is running. Aaron is running the inside all the way down to the bottom, and Nick Nickerson is rolling the top still. And every second he is clicking off a good lap time, catching the number 2 machine, but also keeping his car relatively smooth, as Aaron Smith has reeled in the number 2, bringing along the number 8 machine of Kevin Foster. Kevin Foster was involved in that wreck with Carl Handwerk and Tim Thompson, as they are getting ready to make a move here, as Aaron Smith is 0.3 of a second back of our race leader, Nick Nickerson. Nick Nickerson still opting to run that outside line. Nobody else really is running that line. Kevin Foster is still running the inside along with the number 70 of Aaron Smith. I wonder if they're saving a little bit more tire wear down there as to running the outside where you burn it a little bit more, as the 14 has gotten around the number 18 of Carl Handwerk here. Going to jump back, as the 14 was able to get around the number 18 running that inside. And now, if I was Tim Thompson, I see what Jimmy Covert did, I would want to do the same exact thing, as it looks like Aaron Smith has caught the back bumper of the number 2 machine. He's running that white line. He's painting it. Instead of white, that line's going to be yellow by the end of this race, as that yellow splitter was all over that inside line. And Nick Nickerson still running the wall. So look at this. Coming off of turn number 3 and 4, it looks like they might be side by side if Aaron Smith gets a good run. He does not. I say within a couple of laps, we may have a new leader here in that number 70 machine. So far, the battling has stayed the way it is. As these guys are battling it out. And look at that. Aaron Smith has got to the inside of the number 2 of Nick Nickerson here. And they are battling once again here. And it looks like Aaron Smith is able to get around the number 2. Not able to clear him, though. Nick Nickerson's going to keep that high side rolling, as these guys are going to battle it out pretty good. And now we're going to see exactly what happens here, as these guys are still going at it here. Nick Nickerson still obtaining the lead, but not by much. These guys get to battling, and Kevin Foster could be right there for the taking if these guys get together. And that's something you don't really want to see, especially with this long green flag run. You don't really want to see anything happen to these guys, as these two are battling it out ever so slightly. As we're looking here, these guys are still doing battle ever so slightly, but back here in the back, Carl Hanneberg has gotten to the outside of the number 14 of excuse me. Woo, 2 CRN cars, got to get them right here. The 18 of Carl Hanneberg has gotten to the outside of the number 14 of Jimmy Covert. These two are doing battle as well. I don't know which battle to watch, as we got the 18 getting around the number 14 for that position. But now Aaron Smith is on the outside of Nick Nickerson. Nope, actually he's right behind him. But look how much that has grabbed the number 8 up there, as the number 8 of Kevin Foster's back in this thing. And now we are good to go, as these guys are going to do battle here once again. And you always want to wonder who didn't take tires, but who did. You know, Kevin Foster only took 1 set so far, but how many sets has the 70 taken? And the way these guys are running right now, they're fighting to the death for this one. They know this time's coming. They really want to get this win. It may not be for points, but these guys know how to throw down. As excuse me. As these guys are still battling for position. Nothing else going on in the background here. But it looks like so far still a 3-pack race, as these guys are still side by side. Aaron Smith to the inside, and he's going to finally barely clear the number 2 of Nick Nickerson off turn number 3 and 4. He's going to get credited for leading that lap, but that's going to bring the number 8 of Kevin Foster along with him. Nick Nickerson gets into the wall just a little bit, not able to get back around the number 70. I know with the 70s graphics, he might not be able to see the number 2 that he was on his outside just a little bit, and that's going to drop Nick Nickerson from P1 down to P number 3 with that little bit of right front damage. But Jimmy Covert has dropped behind Tim Thompson, and now Tim Thompson is trying to get around the number 18, excuse me, of Carl Handwerk. And now we are on lap 72 out of 100. Now here's what happens. Do you take the short pit, or do you just want to take the whole fuel run and make it the whole distance? Because like you heard earlier from Kevin Foster, it could very well come down to a fuel mileage run. And if it comes down to a fuel mileage run, you already know what Kevin Foster can do with the fuel. If he needs to save, he can do that. And Barry, I do hear you out there in the chat, buddy. This race is going to have a good finish. And yeah, that is right. Kevin is coming. Let's go. Barry Kistler out there voting for Kevin Foster. He told me to bring him in here in the booth while he is out there on track, but I'm not going to do that to him as he is running P number 2. Not going to take his way not going to be his distraction, as number 18 and the number 05 of Tim Thompson and Carl Handwerk are both into pit road. Now, once they take lap number 75, you can make it about 23, 24 laps on a tank of fuel. Now, when does the number 70 pit? As he's not going to go in this time, Kevin Foster, he's going to stay out as well. So your top 3 that are on the lead lap will be Jimmy Covert, Aaron Smith, and Kevin Foster. And this could be a good fuel mileage race. Carl Handwerk electing to stay in just a few extra seconds to get as much of that damage repaired as he possibly can. As we got the 70 coming into pit lane, that's going to give the lead to Kevin Foster, as he's going to get credited for leading that lap this time by. So move Kevin Foster out to P number 1, but right behind him in closing is that number 2 machine of Nick Nickerson. In every lap that they are out there on track, that's taken away a couple of seconds on their time to that number 2 machine. And that's something that you don't really want to have, is that number 2 closing in on you super quick. As it looks like Kevin Foster, he's going to elect to come down pit road this time by. Going to see what he does here. Doesn't want to speed. Gets into pit road nice and easily. And now he's going to take it down to pit road nice and slow. And we're going to see exactly what this number 8 machine does, if he takes 2 or if he takes 4. So far, Jimmy Covert is down pit lane this time by. So Carl Handwerk is 2 laps down as of right now. And if I were Carl, I'd be loving this race right now, because it's not for points. You don't have to worry about a bad points night, as Kevin Foster elects to take 4 tires, and he is back out there on track. Nick Nickerson just got around him, along with Aaron Smith. He's going to come by. And who is with the number 2 here? That is Carl Handwerk. Carl Handwerk's got a front bumper again. Carl Handwerk right in front of the number 2. He's going to chop his nose off. Carl Handwerk taking that run away from him, as Nick Nickerson is your race leader for the time being. But with that being said, he did pit just a little bit shorter than the rest of the field. So we're definitely going to see that tire slash fuel conservation come into play just a little bit more. And you can see it here already. Carl Handwerk was able to open up that gap off of Nick Nickerson by a couple of seconds already. So I wonder if Nick Nickerson knows, like, hey, I got to save a little bit of fuel to make it to the end, or if he just wants to play a little bit of cat and mouse with the number 70 machine. But with that being said, you seen what happened last time. These two got the battle in the 70 and the 2, And that brought the number 8 machine of Kevin Foster right back up to him. And with that being said, Kevin Foster was the biggest gainer out of all that. Nick Nickerson ended up having a short pit, get that damage fixed, take an extra set of tires if he had them. And then a couple of laps later, the number 70 machine of Aaron Smith was able to pit, got back around the number 2 or the number 8 machine. So they're pretty much basically where they started. The 2's back out front. But the 70 is closing in the gap ever so slightly. Look at this. They might be too wide going down the backstretch, and they are. They are too wide going down the backstretch. Going to get a little bit of turn 3 and 4 in here for you guys. And get the exit as Aaron Smith takes over the lead. And you love to see it. So Aaron Smith takes the lead over Nick Nickerson. So I'm thinking Nick Nickerson is playing a little bit of fuel saving mode here as the number 8 of Kevin Foster. He's going to close in really quick on your second place driver as it looks like Kevin Foster is going to go to the inside of the number 2 of Nick Nickerson, and Nick's just going to let him by. Not sure what's going on with the number 2 machine here, or maybe he was out of tires and he didn't realize that he had 2 sets, and that's another price to pay as 2 sets of tires at Kansas. It is a tire eating track, and take them too early, that could ruin the rest of your outcome of that race. As you see out here on the mini map, Carl Handwerk was able to get away from the number 70, but Carl is a couple laps down, not really in. He's only 1 lap down, not in contention for anything, but a good top 6 is always a good night, especially in the Core Racing League. I actually got my first vintage race win last week at Talladega, and if you haven't seen that yet, go back and watch the ECRC at Talladega and watch the Core Racing League Vintage Series at Talladega. Those 2 races are do not want to miss. And in case you missed it, the ECRC Racing League, I think 2 or 3 cautions out of 65 laps. And Core Racing League, probably 4 or 5. But Core Racing or Core Vintage Cup Series had our biggest field of the night this season, with 32 drivers making the field and about 22, give or take, finishing the whole race. So big shout out to Carl Handwerk and everybody in Core, all the admins, Kevin Foster, Paul Butler, myself, Josh Billiter, Eric Andrews, Jimmy Covert for making that series possible and bringing it back. And that series has grown so much over the past couple seasons, and we have had our biggest field size of the year so far, capping at 32 drivers. But a week before that, 28 people out there for dirt. So a good points night as only 24 drivers were able to get points. The rest had to go home pretty much with a free race. As I was able to snag away the race win and was a good points night for myself. But we'll talk about adversity. That track, whew, I am done with Talladega for a couple of weeks and hopefully done with Talladega in any car for at least a good month. But getting back here to the action, it looks like Aaron Smith is still your race leader by 1.6 seconds. The number 8 of Kevin Foster is in P number 2, Nick Nickerson in 3rd, Tim Thompson in 4th, Jimmy Covert in 5th, and Carl Handwerk rounding out your 6-car field. John Crane, David Caselli, and Mark Gonzalez ended up taking it behind the wall, so not sure exactly what happened to those guys. But take a look back here. It looks like the number 18 has caught the number 14 of Jimmy Covert. Jimmy Covert still has a super clean car, and I'm thinking Jimmy Covert might be wanting a caution. If this thing does go green, he might go 1 lap down as Jimmy Covert and Carl Handwerk are getting ready to do battle again. The 2 CRN network cars. Here we go. Carl Handwerk on the outside, Jimmy on the inside. Jimmy's going to give Carl the spot And Jimmy's just going to elect to ride around in the back, just save his tires, save his equipment, and doesn't want to look like Nick Nickerson out there just running a little bit over pace laps. Not sure if Nick Nickerson used up both sets of tires here. We're going to go ahead and bring up lap times here. Go ahead, bring up the last lap. So as you can see there, Aaron Smith running 31 nines, Kevin Foster running 32 twos, but Nick Nickerson running 33.211. So Nick Nickerson is definitely off pace here as Aaron Smith gets around the number 14 of Jimmy Covert. So now Jimmy Covert is the lucky dog position. But there you see it. Aaron Smith ran a 32.1, Kevin Foster running a 32.2, and Nick Nickerson running a 33.2. So he's a little over a second off pace of these guys. So it definitely wonders if he used those tires up a little bit too quick. Kevin Foster's got to get around the number 14 and possibly get up to that number 70 machine. But so far, there are 9 laps to go in this 100-lap dash. And so far, we got Tim Thompson and Carl Handwerk back up here. But right behind Carl Handwerk, don't look now, but it's that Bruised Banana, the number 70 machine. He's going to make it a little bit interesting for these guys. Where does he want to go? And I'm thinking it looks like Carl Handwerk's going to keep it too wide with Tim Thompson. Nope. Carl Handwerk got around Tim Thompson with ease. But now, where does Carl Handwerk go? Where does Aaron Smith go? Aaron goes down to the inside. Whoa, not Carl Smith. Sorry about that. Carl Handwerk going to run that outside. Aaron Smith gets a little bit tight. Has to get out of the throttle a little bit more than what he wants. But able to keep it off the wall. As you see here, Carl Handwerk still running that outside. And Aaron Smith still running that inside. And now it looks like Carl is going to dive it to the inside. If Aaron Smith can get the good run, he might be able to take that high side away from Carl Handwerk. Nope, Carl's just going to keep it up there on the high side and not going to be able to get past the number 18 machine. Now he's got to fall back in line with the number 70 right behind him. But the 70 is not going to go away that easily. But with this being like this could open up the gap to the number 8 of Kevin Foster. Kevin Foster could come up out of nowhere and steal this win away from the number 70 machine. As these two are battling, that time isn't really going down, but it's not going up either. So Carl Handwerk wants to keep this side by side, making him run on the inside, burn up his tires, as it looks like the 18 just got passed by the number 70 here. What does the 18 do? 18 is going to dive into the inside, right underneath the number 70. Going to get tight. Had to get out of the throttle just a little bit more than the number 70. He's going to give that position right back. Didn't want to get into the race leader. Good heads up call by the number 18 to keep this thing clean and green. But looking at the lap times here, Nick Nickerson 33 twos. He's running those 33 twos consistently. But with the leaders running 32 twos and 32 threes, he's well over a second off pace. So Nate Nickerson does get P number 3. But, I mean, if there's more laps, I think Aaron Smith and Kevin Foster could have lapped the number 2 machine. As Carl Handwerk is in pit lane for the final time. There's no car in between these two guys, Aaron Smith and Kevin Foster, doing battle here. Kevin Foster still trying to catch up to the number 70 machine, but not able to do so. The gap still remains at 2.6 seconds. And the next closest guy is Nick Nickerson, which is a little over almost 20 seconds behind these top two. As you see over there on the track map, Nick Nickerson getting ready to go into turn number 3, and these guys are going into turn number 1. So you're looking at about a good straightaway between these guys. And Aaron Smith is being nice, conservative, and patient as he just lost 0.2 of a second going into turn 1 and 2. So Kevin Foster really turned it on the afterburners here, and he has dropped that lead down to 2.3. So we're definitely going to possibly see a good
battle for that last lap if Kevin Foster can keep it off the wall and keep it clean, as he has now dropped it back up to 2.4 at about 2.5 now. So we're definitely going to see what the number 8 machine can do, as the 05 is right behind the number 8, just a couple of seconds back. And then you got the 14 to Jimmy Covert in that CRN Ford Mustang. And then you got Nick Nickerson out there on track, still running around, playing catch up with those old tires. Still a little bit over a second off the pace. So I bet that number 2 is out there kicking himself in the rear on why he took tires that early. Maybe he didn't realize that the Kevin changed the rules on the midseason classic this year. Make people take only 2 sets. Because normally in the core racing league we do get free tires and free fuel. But for the midseason classic we only did 2 sets of tires. As it sits right now, that gap has went from 2.3 back up to 2.6 as Kevin Foster comes around for the final time. Starting lap number 100, he is 2.7 seconds back of the race leader. Aaron Smith is on the backstretch here. Aaron Smith going down the backstretch, getting ready to go into turn number 3. He's only got this quarter of the next one, so we're going to see another winner out of the number 70 machine. Nobody in front of him, really nobody behind him. Aaron Smith coming off of turn number 4. He's going to collect the checkered flag for the midseason classic. The number 8 of Kevin Foster in second. The number 2 of Nick Nickerson on the backstretch in third. Hasn't crossed the start finish line yet. Fourth will be Tim Thompson. Fifth will be Jimmy Covert. Sixth, Carl Handwerk. Seventh, John Crane. Eighth, David Castelli. And rounding out the 9-car field, Mark doing what he does best, no shows, Gonzalez. Aaron Smith giving us a little bit of a preview of what he does on dirt. Going a little bit sideways. Same with the number 8. Able to keep it off of each other as these two end up. Oh, they didn't collide with each other. Aaron Smith doing a little bit of some victory donuts as the number 8 of Kevin Foster parks it right next to him. But as we get ready we're going to go ahead and bring in our third place finisher. That would be the number 2 of Nick Nickerson here. Hey, Nick, this is Dylan of the Core Broadcasting booth. You got a copy?
How's it going, man?
I mean, I'm doing good up here. I don't know how about your tires are doing down there on the racetrack.
Pretty bad. Missed the memo that we didn't have unlimited tires, so I ran about 70 laps on the same set of tires.
We only double stint tires on endurance races.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we can't really say that because last season we had this guy named Jeff Dillon run a triple stint on 87 tires at Texas. So I mean,
Yeah.
call me crazy, but I mean, I don't know. If there's anybody that can do a double or triple stint on tires, it is you. I mean, let's be honest here. You're kind of one of the top dogs in core. You, Kevin, Carl, everybody in core. You guys are all top dogs. I've learned a lot from you. I still try to learn a lot from you when we're out on track together, especially at road courses. But you led a lot of laps tonight in this 100-lap race. Just came up a little bit short with the tire strategy, with it only being 2 sets of tires. So kind of walk us down how you felt your race would have went if you knew that you only had 2 sets.
Yeah, I probably just would have walked away with it. That was pretty fast all the time, and I can say my tire is pretty good. It's is what it is. I learned that we had a tire limit like after I went for a frivolous second pit after like 5 laps. And got new tires, and I was like, oh crap, I just burned all 3 sets of my tires and I had 70 laps to go. So, I mean, it's still kind of fun to run around like that. It was fun for an exhibition race, so like no hurt feelings by any means. And I just it's not often I get to run the tires that lean, so I got to kind of see what the car does. So it's a little more experience for next time around.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, even with 8
8 guys out there. There were still some good battles out there on track. Even though you did the 70 laps on the same set of tires, if you guys had another late restart, I think you could have held them off for one good lap. But with those guys like Foster and Thompson and Covert and Handwork and Smith having newer tires, I think going down the backstretch or even starting that second lap, they would have been able to get around you. But like you said, you got some good data for next time whenever you do come back out here to Kansas in these cars or maybe even a different car. But at least it wasn't for points tonight.
Yeah, right.
I was sitting there in the broadcast. People was like, oh, Carl Handwork would love it. He's not battling for points. It's not going to be a bad points night for him tonight. Just a little bit of money on the table. And so far, you came home P3. Next week, we're going to a rallycross, I believe. And I know how good you are kind of in rallycross. I don't know if it's your forte, but
It's been a while, but there's nothing a few laps of practice can't refresh. So looking forward to that one.
so what you're saying is you're going to do the Chris Hamilton theory. Oh yeah, run 2 practice laps and call it good.
Yeah, right now. No, I need a little more practice than that. Just I got since the last time I got like new pedals and whatnot, so got to make sure they're all tuned up and the way I like it for racing on dirt there. So yeah, man. That's gonna be a fun one. I always like the rallycross. Sometimes it depends on sometimes bad things can happen, but we'll have to see.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know all about that. Okay, I did a lot of practice in season 4 at Sonoma Hill Climb in the Pro
Yeah,
4s or Pro 2s, whatever they were, and not even the first lap I got flipped and my race was over. So I
that's
know
what
exactly
happens.
how it happens. I know it. I'll just stick to my oval stuff. That's what I'm good at. I'll stick to that. I'll let all these other guys take the rally across the road and all that stuff. But before we get you on out of here, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, man. Just Carl and everybody, all the admins and everybody that puts these leagues on, man. They're tons of fun, and thanks for doing a broadcast even for an exhibition race.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's always a fun being up here in the booth.
Oh yeah, man. Well, I guess I will talk to you a little later on this week.
Yes, sir. You're gonna be here for Thursday, right?
I'm gonna try
Yeah.
for
See,
sure.
we got Charlotte. We need you
Yeah,
out there.
that's gonna be a fun one.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, Nick. Hopefully we'll see you later this week, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again on Thursday.
All right, man. Take care.
Yep. All right. Gonna go ahead and move on to our second place finisher, the man, the myth, the legend, Kevin Hollywood Foster. Kevin, we've talked to you a little bit here tonight. You ended up getting into that wreck right after I put you back into the general chat, but you come home
I know.
away P2. You can't be too mad about that.
No, not mad at it, but that long slide down the backstretch there killed my brand new tires, and then I was not able to do anything with it, and I was able to hang a little bit with those guys, and I was hoping that Aaron was gonna run out of gas, but he didn't. And P2, it's better than last place. I finished ahead of Carl, so that's always important for me.
I think that's always important for everybody. If they can have a good job well done beating one of the core co-owners, that is a very well done job by yourself to beat Carl or Eric or Nick Nickerson. Those are the top dogs like yourself. I always feel accomplished when I'm racing you in the 87s. If I beat you or Chris Hamilton, I'm like, that's a job well done. That is a win in my book.
Yeah, and an 87 series, it seems like it's a three-way horse battle all the times. I know this year we had a lot of new players, and hopefully we're going to get back to some regular tracks on that schedule, and us three will be up there battling again.
Well, I mean, we got Charlotte this week on Thursday, so there's a good chance us 3 could be battling. But we still got that Pizzagate / road course for me, and it can go either way. It is what it is. You
Yep.
always got to have a road course in any season that you do.
Yes. Road courses, as you know, are not my specialty. I can maintain my own, but I just lack a couple seconds to you guys up there in that series. But good way to cap off the Sunday night here in the Core Racing League Premier Series. Shout out to everyone that came out tonight. Wish more people would have came out tonight, but it is what it is. And next Sunday we're gonna go get them.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I believe next Sunday, I'll go ahead and look at the schedule here to make sure I got it right. It looks like you guys are going to Lockenbennen and Rallycross. So 12, only 12 laps, but we have a lot of features. I don't know how you are on Rallycross, but I think a lot of people are looking forward to that race.
No, I'm one of them. Not really looking forward to it, but I will definitely be there, and hopefully, me and Chris are gonna spend some time together so he can at least show me a little something that I'm missing in those trucks, and other rally cars. But just not my forte, but always fun nonetheless.
Oh yeah, it's always fun, especially on Sunday nights. You do the different car, different tracks every week. Can't beat it. I mean, it's like you you're not going to be great at one discipline, but after a little bit of a practice, you're going to get better and better every time you go out there. So, you know,
Absolutely.
that's why I love core. You get a little bit of variety of everything. But 100 laps up and gone at Kansas. You did bring in that gap from about 2.7 down to 2.3. And I thought there for a second you were going to close it back in under 2 seconds. But I think Aaron Smith just turned on the afterburners after he's seen how much time you gained back on him. And he just went full gun ho and was able to open up that gap just a little bit more.
Yeah, we came out of pits there. It was like 3.3 behind. I closed it, got down to like 3, then 2.5, and then it pretty much stayed there. And then yeah, he definitely had another gear that he could definitely go into. Congrats to him for the right strategy, the right time, and you know what? There's always if I would have pitted on the same lap with him, maybe that 2-second tire fall off might not have been as bad, and maybe I would have been there, could have rattled his cage. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could have, should have, would have.
Yeah, that's all you can say. But Kevin, before we get you on out of here, we get to talk to the race winner. Does anybody want to give a shout out to?
Big thanks to my wife downstairs. Thursday we celebrated 4 years together. So, babe, I love you. And shout out to you for broadcasting tonight on CRN and everyone in the league that makes this possible. And Hollywood's out. We'll see you next week.
All right, Kevin, we will see you again next week and possibly up here in the booth on Thursday night in the 87s.
Amen to that.
All right, going to go ahead and move on to the race winner, Aaron Smith. Aaron, this is Dylan in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I've got you.
All right, Aaron. You were kind of in the back a little bit. You and Carl got into a little bit of a tingo bango there earlier in the race. You were under power, it looked like, wanted to save your fast repair for when it really mattered the most. And, the cautious didn't really breed a lot, but you were able to use your fast repair pretty, like, right around in the middle of the race and kept your car clean. Turned that bright yellow banana into a bruised banana with all the dirt and the rubber all on it. But kind of give us a rundown on that last pit stop and what you did different from everybody else in the field.
Yeah, I knew that once I got the fast repair, it would be in my best interest to bank on like not getting any cautions there because I knew we only had 6 cars left. We'd have to be pretty bad to wreck it up again. But yeah, I just took the 4 tires I had left because I only took them after the first the competition caution or whatever it was, and then used that remaining set of tires and just drove away. We had a pretty solid run there. Nick was a lot faster, but once the long run came in, I drove away, I guess.
Yeah, he didn't get the memo that you guys only had 2 sets of tires, so he burned those 2 sets of tires off pretty quickly.
Yeah,
And
I saw that at the start of the race. I didn't know if everyone knew or not, but I was hoping that someone would forget. So I guess that worked out for me.
yeah, that did end up working out for you. But throughout that whole race, it looked like you just wanted to be content on that inside. You'd seen Carl Handwerk, Nick Nickerson, and others use that high side. Were you ever thinking about running the high side for the majority of the race, or were you just content running the inside?
No, the top chews up the tires so badly. I knew that I wanted to make the most out of those 2 sets we had in the pits, so I figured I'd be better off just running the bottom, being a little slower at the beginning of the run, but having a couple extra tenths on them at the end of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. You always want to make sure you get everything in and out of that car that you possibly can for the long run. Kind of give us a little bit of a rundown of what your tires were looking like at the end of the first pit stop, or possibly after that really long green flag run.
Yeah, after that, the run where I wrecked, I think they were in the 60s in the right front, and the right rear was somewhere in the low 80s, if I recall correctly. But yeah, fortunately, we turned that around in the second half of the race, and we conserved them pretty well. I think the right front was only 86 after the halfway point coming to the finish.
Yeah, see that. I mean, tire saver mode right here, as Aaron Smith collects the race win. Even though it's not for points, it's still a race win in your core racing series league debut. Well, second year sophomore. But you go to a rally cross next week. Are you excited? Are you not looking forward to it? Or are you just kind of whatever happens, happens?
I'm looking forward to it. It's been a while since we've done some right turns this season, so it should be a pretty good race.
Well, you did a lot of right turning when you're on dirt. You got to turn right to go left. All that stuff.
Oh,
But
yeah, I gotcha.
but this is a little bit different. There's actually right hand turns. There's actually left hand turns. There's a couple of jumps. So hopefully we'll be talking to you again next Sunday in the booth. But before we let you get on out of here and celebrate, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the folks at the Core Racing League for putting the show on, you broadcasting, and all the folks for watching. Looking forward to getting back out of the hell next weekend.
All right, buddy. Well, we're going to go ahead and throw you back up there to General, and we will talk to you later.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for me here tonight. But before I get on out of here, I'm going to go ahead and go down the finishing results. Aaron Smith getting the win. Kevin Hollywood Foster in P number 2. Nick Nickerson in 3rd. Tim Thompson in 4th. Jimmy Covert in 5th. Carl Handwerk in 6th. John Crane in 7th. David Castelli in 8th. And Mark No-Show Gonzalez doing no-show things and not putting in a time or funny or running out this race. But tune in to Tuesday. Sorry, I got my days all mixed up there. Tune in Tuesday as me and Kevin Young bring you the coverage from Kansas in the Truck Series tonight, or Tuesday night, as we get ready to go into the final race of the season in the trucks. That's going to be a good one, as it's Randall Robertson, Zach Woods, Ricky Gonzalez, and who was the final one? Jim Ott. Maybe was it Jim Ott? Those four are battling for the championship there on Tuesday night, and then Wednesday night you'll have Jimmy and Carl in the booth. I will be out there on track as the ECRC 87 League goes to, I believe it is. Let me look here. They go to Charlotte. So we have Charlotte for the ECRC on Wednesday. I'll be out there on track doing what I can to possibly pick up another win. And then Thursday night, you have Carl and Jimmy again as we take the 87s to Charlotte in the Core Vintage Series as the 87s venture out to Charlotte as well. So you got 2 Charlotte races back to back. And then Sunday night, we go to Hell, Lockenbannon in the rallycross cars as we do battle there. They have a couple of heats, but a 12 lap feature. But that's going to do it here for me tonight. As just remember to take care and brush your hair.